Welcome to episode 50. This is the tank that I service in Malibu, California, and I like to refer to it as the Sea by the Sea because the house overlooks the sea, and inside this beautiful home is a 125-gallon black laminate stand and canopy with wet-dry trickle filter. Well, let's jump in and get the tank cleaned up. And as always, we want to spread some protection out on the floor just to make sure that we don't end up leaving any spills or drips. This is a fish-only system, so it consists of decorative rock and the dead coral skeletons as decorations. And my preference is that there are two sets of decorative corals, one that's in the tank getting dirty, the other one that I've bleached in advance, bring to the customer's location on the day of the service, and simply exchange those corals. Out with the dirty, in with the clean. And to get into it, to service it, we want to remove the canopy. To do so, we have to disconnect the lights. Note here that those 48-inch fluorescent lamps are attached to plastic C-clips to the underside of the canopy. Once we've detached them from the canopy, we can lift the entire canopy off the tank. This way, it's out of the way. I now have full access into the top of the tank. This tank has a wet-dry trickle filter on it with a protein skimmer. And it utilizes an ultraviolet sterilizer. And there's our water pump back there. There's an internal overflow in the tank, and you can see where the return of the water comes back into the tank. So let's get to work and start by removing those dirty corals from the tank. You can see how dirty the corals get, and this is a tank that's serviced every 2 weeks. So anything really much beyond 2 weeks, I think is going to be too much or too long. We also, unfortunately, found the remains of a fish that we lost, and I suspect that it could be the saddleback butterfly fish because I don't see her in the tank. It's a bit of a surprise because we've had the saddleback for quite a while now. But there are still a large number of other fishes in the tank, including some pygmy angels, flame and lemon peel, a pair of cleaner shrimps, and a pair of clownfish, as well as an assortment of shrimps in the tank. So we're going to take the box of dirty corals back out to the van, try to keep a clean and safe working area. That'll also allow us to bring in the 10 gallons of salt water that we're going to use for the water change. So this being an acrylic tank, we have to use a cleaning pad that's specific for acrylic. And of course, many times I've gone over how to properly clean an acrylic tank, starting at the top and working your way down to the bottom. The bottom being where you're most likely going to pick up a granule of gravel and get stuck in your filter pad or cleaning pad, and of course then scratch the aquarium. I've said this before a number of times, and some of you have even pointed out how many times I've said it, but pay attention when you're cleaning an acrylic tank. Yes, it will scratch easily, and most of the time it becomes scratched simply because someone's not paying attention, and what you end up with is Zorro across the tank before you realize that you're scratching the tank. So pay attention. Also, start at the top and work your way down to the bottom, because it's that bottom level where the gravel is that's most likely going to get picked up in your filter pad.
or cleaning pad. So come on back for part 2 as we vacuum the gravel and address the filter system and protein skimmer needs.